So lately, the common practice is to take a style of game or a format of game and copy it into some hodgepodge, patched together work of new material that developers try to pass off as original that usually end up crashing and burning. This isn't that. Let's talk about this. Hey everybody, what is going on? Brandon here, and this game is Breach. Now, this game was not on my radar whatsoever. It entered Steam Early Access a few weeks ago. I had no clue it even existed. It was brought to my attention last week that I needed to check this game out, and so I decided to check it out and do a review on it, and oh my god. Now, when I first looked into this game, initially, it did kind of seem very derivative of a bunch of different styles. It seemed like it was borrowing a lot from the Overwatch style aesthetic, especially with the UI. It also looked like it was borrowing a little bit from Paragon. I mean, this game looks, when you look into it, looks a lot like it's like a bunch of different styles of games thrown together. And normally that wouldn't work. Normally, I've seen it done. I think I did a review a few months ago on Horizon Source, which was Fortnite meets Overwatch. And it usually that kind of stuff doesn't work. You can't just try to capitalize on things that are popular, throw different things together. Usually it ends up being a convoluted mess. I've seen it happen time and time again. It happened with Dead Alliance. It happened with Horizon Source. A lot of times games like this don't really take off. And if somebody were to sit me down and explain to me what how this game works, how Breach works, how you play it, what the whole goal is, and how it's done, I would say, man, that sounds confusing. That does not sound like an enjoyable time whatsoever. It seems like a convoluted mess. I don't want to try it. But I was very, very shocked at how well it actually works. So I'm going to go ahead and explain to you guys how the gameplay is, and it might probably come off very confusing and convoluted, but it works really well for this game. Now, the description of this game is very misleading. It is described as a third-person RPG, combining modern times with mythological era lore and deities and creatures. So you would think this is basically just another co-op third-person RPG, but it's really not. I mean, that is part of it. It does fit into that world where it is technically an RPG. You are technically completing quests and stuff as you do these missions, but it is also a competitive game where you go against other players. The setup for this game is actually, it's really neat. You make your own character, that is your character, and you can choose what class you want to play per match, and you can level up each class. Now, this game does feel like it follows a free-to-play model, which means it more than likely, when it does come out of early access, will be a free-to-play game, because it does have a cash shop for skins. It does have, you know, to where you have to grind out gold to be able to unlock the other classes for you to try out with your character. You have some that are on free rotations. You start out with one, and then you can unlock more as you play. But it is very much a co-op game. The setup is you and 3 other people choose what class you're wanting to play to embark on these missions. And these missions are sort of like MOBA-style objectives. You have to either take out a certain amount of creatures, you have to find certain things and deposit them into these little areas. You have to lure a drone, similar to Overwatch or Paladins. And then you have the enemy, who plays a Veil Demon. You cannot physically harm the Veil Demon, who is the enemy player, but what they can do is they can make traps, they can possess other creatures in their army to come and physically attack you, and even after you kill that creature they've possessed, they can simply leave the body and go into another creature. And the goal of that player, the Veil Demon player, is to stop you from completing your objectives, and at the end of the match have more points. Now, when you go through the entire mission, at the very end, you'll end up running into a boss that you have to fight, as well as, you know, you have the Veil Demon who can not only possess the boss, but also possess other creatures. They can set traps for you, and there's different classes of Veil Demon too with different abilities. Now, I haven't been able to play as the Veil Demon a whole lot. I think I've played through one match as the Veil Demon, and it's for the initial class of Veil Demon you start out with. But it's very interesting, and it reminds me a lot of a game that was actually canceled not too long ago, Fable Heroes. I played the beta of that years and years ago on Xbox One. That game ended up getting canceled, but it was very similar to that, where you have one person as the enemy controlling these armies, and you have these heroes that need to solve the objectives or finish these quests, and the enemy needs to stop them, or the heroes need to progress, and it makes for a multiplayer campaign with an RPG aesthetic, and it really, really works. really right now the only negatives I've found with this game seem to be there's not a lot of people playing it because it is paid early access, and I've already talked about before how that doesn't really work for a lot of games. I don't know if it will work for this game. Now, this isn't a Battle Royale game, and honestly, I can't say that I've played another game that's exactly like this, because this game feels like a lot of different games wrapped up together, but there's not a whole lot of people playing, so it takes like at least, I would say, 5 minutes to get into a match. I think that's the shortest amount of time I've had trying to get into a quest. So the wait time kind of sucks. It is a little bit longer than I would like. I'm hoping if they do go free to play, they do it soon, because this game definitely deserves more attention. I'm loving it. It is a ton of fun, especially if I had friends to play with. I think I would really get into this game. But right now I don't know anybody that has it, so I've been playing with randoms. But right now I would say the matchmaking times, due to the low player count, and optimization are the two things I would say are negatives with this game. Now, it is not very well optimized. I will say that. I've ran it on medium and high. It doesn't really seem to change anything. It can run it on either one, but either way, it's still, I deal with frame drops randomly. Now, I've heard a lot of people in the forums and on the review page on Steam have actually complained about the frame dropping, so I'm not sure if it's actually PC related or if it's client related, or if it actually might just be server related. I know we dealt with frame drops a lot in Dauntless early on because of and it was all server related, so I'm wondering if this might not be the issue here. It is a lot of fun though. I will say this is probably, when it comes to games that I've never heard of and people have offered, sometimes I can find enjoyment in a lot of games and say, yeah, I had fun playing it, but it's not something, you know, I will continue to play because of how busy I am. This is a game that I full-blown plan to continue playing, because this game is actually really fun. It's got a lot going on for it. The developers seem really cool. They released a new class yesterday, and they went ahead and told everybody and even put it on the launcher, hey, if you want this class for free or you don't want to grind out gold for it, just type free pyro in the redeem code thing and you guys can have this class for free. I thought that was really cool. It's a brand new class they just released into the game. They could be making money off of it, but they just decided just to give it to anybody that was already playing the game. So I think that was really cool. All in all, I would say Breach is definitely one if you are interested in this type of game. If you're interested in games like Overwatch or Paragon, if you miss, it does feel a lot like Paragon. That is one thing I will say. The combat feels a lot like Paragon. The canceled Epic Games MOBA that they'd created, it feels a lot like that. So it is a lot of fun though. I will say I am really enjoying myself. The mix and match of styles when it comes to gameplay is really cool. You know, a lot of people try to make copycats real fast. Horizon Source is probably one of the funniest copycat hodgepodge patchwork games I'd ever played, and I was kind of expecting that with this when I saw the initial UI and saw how the game kind of played. I was like, man, this is just going to be a ripoff and trying to capitalize on popular genres, but it's not. They probably borrowed aesthetics from Paladins and Overwatch, but it's not a ripoff. This game is its own thing, and it plays like its own thing, and it's pretty fun. I'm really hoping they get the optimization down with the network, and on the PC side, I really hope they optimize it a little bit better so we're not dealing with frame drops, and I really do want to see more people playing it so we can get into matches a lot faster. But this is definitely a game to keep your eyes on. If you have not already played it or you haven't even heard of this game, I definitely recommend you check it out. Link for it will be down in the description, so you guys can go to the Steam page and actually check out the game if you're interested. But yeah, so that's all the time I got for this one though, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I don't know if I'll be uploading it all this weekend. I'm going to try to, but it's birthday weekend, so I'm probably going to be spending most of that with my family. But yeah, if you like this video and you want to see more, please do me a favor and click that red subscribe button. If you want to know anytime Nathan or I upload videos, please do me a favor and click that bell icon so you can get notifications. And I will see you all next time.